puked again in the hallway. That's what they seem to do. They have
It's
to have...
furball season. It doesn't matter how much I brush.
I give in. I mean, we've got this foodie, which is supposed to be hairball remedy. I guess it gets the hairballs out of them.
Well, yeah, they keep yakking them up all over the carpet.
Why? We have plenty of hard surfaces they could easily barf upon.
But that's no fun. They'd rather puke on your sofa.
I had to stop Mia from puking in your shoe the other day.
Thank you for that.
Literally. She was like about to yak one up straight into your shoe, which is just marvellous, isn't it?
Oh.
Anyway, hopefully somebody's going to join us on the Tube of You. We're technology fought us spectacularly this morning.
Didn't want to let us on today.
I had to come offline altogether and try again. And excuse me, knock everything around. Hopefully it's working. I see we're there. So if you see we're there, that's grammatically sort of. If you see us, if you do in fact see us, if you are joining us and can see us and all that fun stuff, we'd be hugely grateful. I'll tell you what I'll do. This is maybe the notification's not working. Let me do that. Because I found that sometimes if you do this right now...
If you edit now so you don't have to worry about editing later.
It will make the notification work. So let's see if this actually works then.
Fantastic Friday.
Fantastic Friday. Well, it's fantastic if we can make it work.
Yeah. Well,
we're actually going to talk about.
We are in the shadow of Mercury that is about to retrograde.
Oh God, no!
So it's always a fun.
Let's go hide. I'm not seeing anybody. I'm seeing us on the Tube of You. I'm just not.
I have 5 people on Facebook.
Oh, apparently it's working on the Book of Face. It's just the Tube of You is conspiring against us this morning by the looks of it.
Well, wouldn't let you on at all a few minutes ago.
Oh, hang on. I think something's happening. I see somebody going there.
All right.
So there's maybe we'll see. If you've joined us on the Tube of You, do us a favour. Just say hi so I know the darn thing's working, because we're being tormented by the technology demons this morning.
All right.
I see something happen. Gilda, thank you. Thank you. That's all we need. Perfect. So,
all right. So today's Fantastic Fridays. Welcome to Elevensies, the late morning show with Lisa and Anton Stewart.
It almost is late actually this morning, isn't it?
Well, a bit.
Skittle doesn't like it down here.
No, Skittle doesn't come down too much. Hi, Kim. So today we thought we usually talk on Fridays about our experiences in our relationship in our life.
Our crazy continuing journey.
And today we thought we'd talk about relationships, and maybe relationships in general. How do you make a relationship work? And,
how do you make
I'm going to be very, very honest and say that Anton and I almost never argue. Honestly. We're really good friends, and we're very lucky to have each other.
Yes, don't go to bed mad. Stay up and fight.
Every once in a while, we definitely have a difference of opinion on something.
Really?
But we have learned to fight the problem and not each other. And I think that is one of the first steps.
That's kind of key, really,
to really understanding how to nurture and take care of any relationship, whether it's the relationship between partners, husband and wife, or whether it's the relationship you might have, relationships at work, or whether it's co-workers, boss, anything. Or whether it's a relationship with your spiritual family, your witch parents, your regular family, whatever the relationship is. Communication is really important. And recognizing what the issue is and not blaming the other person. Fight the problem, not each other.
Well, here's the thing. And there is a point of understanding here that people inherently will push back or kick out against those they're closest to, because they are inherently a sounding board for them, if you will. Somebody you're very close to, you have a deal of comfort. It's not like you're on your best behavior with somebody you've never met before. So you have this, propensity to dump, maybe.
Well, you have a history too with that person.
Yeah,
so.
and just you're not being cognizant of how am I actually behaving in this situation. Because you can be yourself. And because of that, sometimes, we don't apply the right kind of filters, and we just let something go, and it may come across as an accusation to the other person. It may be like, hang on, why are you saying this is my fault? And they may read it that way. And that's where communication can become a real bloody issue, you know, where somebody
why did you say that to me, or how you said it, whatever.
Or but we're worse, where they don't say that.
But I'm not saying, I was just going to say, I'm not saying hold back and hold in. I'm saying be as open and honest as you can.
Exactly.
You just don't be nasty. But relationships are key, not just relationships with your partner, but relationships with everything. And, you can see that this past month, we've had a lot of challenges.
One or two.
And today, Saturn is at 7 degrees Aquarius, and Anton's natal Saturn is at 7 degrees Aquarius. So he is having a direct hit of a second Saturn return, and my natal Saturn is 4 degrees Aquarius. So I'm technically in my Saturn return.
You're closing in on it.
Right, because it's only a 3 degree orb, and yeah.
So, like people give you presents for your solar return. Shouldn't you get more of a present for your Saturn return?
Well,
because you get less of it.
Margot used to say that your second Saturn return is where your chickens come home to roost.
Oh, we got chickens.
Meaning that, the patterns and things that you have set out for yourself now are kind of woven into the fabric of your life, right? Whatever it is that you've been doing or how you've been organizing, how you've had your relationships, now that's coming to a more solid, right? Because Saturn is the solidifier, the restrictor, the lesson keeper. Right. So I think this year, both of us wouldn't necessarily consider ourselves old, but we certainly are a bit wiser. And we try to share whatever we can with you guys to help you along your journey. We're always talking things that will bring you prosperity or motivation or health, healing, whatever. And today, I really want to make the point about looking deeply at relationships, not just your lover, your partner, your life partner, but relationships with everything, including your relationship to the planet.
Get off there.
Emmett, damn it, has decided to jump onto the mixing desk.
He's now altering all the settings on our mixing. He's a lousy sound engineer. I just want you to know. I wish I could swing the camera around and you could see.
Including your relationship with your pets.
Do we have one with him? He's just like
terror.
He's a terrorist.
But seriously, think about your relationship to the planets and the astrological things that are being offered, or the challenges. Like, we know Mercury retrograde is coming, and some of us know because you see things like, oh God, I can't get on YouTube this morning. So Saturn is really a key player in the universe's energy, and Saturn in Aquarius is making us all kind of look at humanitarian and world issues.
I wish it was making us all. Sadly, there are many people who are blissfully ignorant. I wish it was everybody.
I believe that Saturn is working its course towards enlightenment. And people
taking people through a walk through the Garden of Enlightenment.
A walk through the Garden of Enlightenment. So people who are refusing to see will be shown again. That's what karma is about. Lesson will be repeated until learned.
Maybe if I lob a giant hailstone through your windscreen, maybe then you'll understand there's such a thing as climate change. I don't know.
Well, no, again, I'm saying this on the micro and macro, right?
Yeah.
Your relationship in the world, your relationship to people around you, your relationship to nature, your relationship to your living arrangements. Saturn is all about roots. And lessons.
It is. Think of the glyph.
And remember how important it is to nurture those relationships. It's not always about giving an award to someone who just merely showed up. Maybe it's about giving a lesson to those people. But it certainly is about being aware, even if it's painfully aware, and giving love or tough love where needed.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the things that we need to learn, bad experiences create good judgment, So long as you learn from it, it's necessary to have those bad experiences. It's where you continue to repeat the same thing and learn nothing from it. It does turn into a bit of clue by four around the side of the head. Erin's birthday today.
Oh,
hello.
Happy birthday.
Happy 36th birthday, you young thing, you. And I'm still in a Jupiter return, she says. Well, it's, things are looking good for you.
Jupiter returns are usually quite expansive and prosperous.
Hopefully not in the waist region, as was the case with
Well, no, there is a chance for overeating during a Jupiter return, especially if it's near the 6th house. I don't know where your Jupiter is, Erin, but Jupiter in Aquarius, I don't know what house that is because I don't know what your rising sign is, but you're definitely going to have attention to pay there. Yeah.
So yeah, it's all fun stuff.
But just
it is about relationship.
It is about relationship.
It is about relationship, and you have to work at relationships. It's necessary. If something is worth nurturing and preserving, you understand you have to put some maintenance time into it. You can't just get your car and thrap it up and down the highway and never think you have to change the oil or even check the oil.
Or even put gas.
Or put gas in it, because it's going to stop. It's just going to... Why is my car not working anymore? Well, oops, I forgot to put gas in it, So that's simple maintenance, How are you doing is a great question to ask somebody. It might be your life partner. It might be just a co-worker. It just might be somebody you bumped into.
Right.
But if we are a little aware of the world outside of ourselves and realize that what we process on a continual basis is actually our perception of our relationship to everything else. We are the center of our own universe.
Absolutely.
We see from where we're standing.
We are going to work on self-preservation. That's what we're going to work on because, if we don't survive, then there's no point to life. Right?
Yeah, but sometimes helping everybody, sometimes it's better to have a slice of a whole cake than one crumb of a mince pie or a whole mince pie and nobody else gets to eat, It's all about balance and recognizing that there's a value in a relationship as well. And it does require work. And communication is key to it. It's probably the first and most important thing is communication. So a lot of people internalize stuff. Certainly a lot of the people I meet and provide counsel to on a daily basis, they internalize things. And I know sometimes you worry about saying the wrong thing. You worry about making a fuss, or perhaps overreacting. But sometimes internalizing and doing nothing, especially if you continue to play over that scenario in your head.
Right.
Oh God, what do they mean by that? What do they mean by that? And it keeps drilling at you from the inside. This is as harmful, if not more harmful, than actually opening up a line of communication in the first place. Hey, what did you mean by that? Oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it that way. There you go, misunderstanding solved. Mm-hmm. Problem, move forward from that. So learning to communicate, learning to speak, and this is speak from a place of true curiosity.
Which these next few weeks is going to be really entertaining because of
Mercury retrograde, yeah.
So really think about it,
Good time to revisit.
Good time to revisit, redo, and rethink. Mm-hmm. Recently for myself personally, I had this epiphany about how to cope with COVID, right?
Tricky, isn't it?
COVID has been such
a
huge responsibility and very difficult thing for me to deal with and navigate all of the relationships that I have, right? Mm-hmm. I have a responsibility of a relationship with Anton. I have a responsibility to the relationship I have with my coworkers. I have a responsibility to my spiritual family. I have a responsibility to the people who enter my store or our store. But I'm just talking from my perspective because each person will handle things differently.
Right? And you get the whole gamut presented.
So you have, some people who think, it's no big deal. Just proceed as normal. Forget about it. it'll go away. It's no big deal. You have other people that are like, oh my God, self-preservation. I'm going to isolate because I'm really frightened. So as a person who's trying to maintain all of those relationships, right, to not scold the person who thinks, I don't have a vaccine, I don't need a mask, I'm going to depend on my immune system and I can just come in your store and breathe on people who are immunocompromised. It doesn't matter because it's all about me, one end of the scale, to I'm sorry, you're not going to see me for a couple of years while I hide out. And you still have a relationship to each end of that spectrum. So I finally had the epiphany to realize that just because each and every single individual processes this issue individually,
right,
the enemy is truly COVID.
Well, yeah.
Right? So I'm doing my very best to draw a line, set a boundary. This is what I deem safe, and this is how we're handling it in our corner. And once I did that, a great relief came, because that made the relationship with all of the people better, because they knew this is where I'm coming from. This is how we want to handle it. And then those people can decide for themselves what their relationship means to the virus or to the place they want to go.
This is what I mean about kicking out and blaming those closest to you. Because there is those element of people that are probably just as upset with the whole pandemic situation.
Furious.
But they blame the other people who they think, oh, you're overreacting, these lockdowns, these restrictions, this wearing masks, these vaccinations, you're all oppressing me. Actually, you're not upset with that, because you have to realize, people do, if you're a responsible person, you can't please all the people all the time. No. Take that as a given. You just can't.
We know
when you have got diametrically opposed mindsets, you can't please both of those people. One of them is going to get peed off. Maybe both of them are going to get peed off if they're so far apart.
Probably no one's going to be happy. So then you
can only do what's right.
You have to communicate and set a boundary. And I was just using that as one example.
Right.
There might be something that isn't as worldwide, that is more towards the nucleus of a relationship, like between us.
Right.
How are we going to handle, this purchase? We have this thing that we're working towards, this goal. And, one perspective might be, bags of smoke straight up the middle. We're going to do this. We're just going to do it. And the other perspective might be, well, wait a minute. We need one step at a time, and we need a safety net. And so you have two different ends of the spectrum there. And you have to come to some sort of compromise. And the only way you're going to get that compromise of the oppositions is to talk it out, reason it out.
Work it out.
It's not just, it's my way because I said so.
No,
this is my thought process. These are the things that I'm bringing to the table. This is why I've come to this conclusion. Oh, well, I'd never thought of that. But what's missing from what you've just told me is my perspective, because I think that we need to do this. So whatever it is that you're working on with anyone, be it one person, a group of people, or a worldwide issue, communicate, listen.
Listen is so, you got two of them, one of them. Use them in that order.
Listen, respond. Do not react.
Mm-hmm.
And do not overreact. And really take to heart what's coming from those other camps. And see how you can process that to maintain and nurture a relationship, right?
It's true. Lisa and I oppose one another. Erin's is in the first house, she says, and thank you. Oh, you're most welcome.
Oh, it's about the self then.
Ah, well, there you go.
So good. It should build some confidence for you, some self-confidence.
I think that's, yeah.
And also would be a great idea to advertise your your offerings, Aaron, because the first house
Take
gets
the
you
light
seen.
out from under the bushel.
The first house gets you seen, so take advantage of that and start advertising.
So, talking about resolution of opposition.
We are
You
opposites.
would not believe how many points of opposition there actually are in our charts.
Yep.
If any person, you'd go like, "You're kidding, right? How do these people get on? You know,
Right,
how do they even get on?"
He has Leo sun. I have Aquarius sun. He has Cancer ascendant. I have Mercury in Capricorn. I have Cancer moon. He has Capricorn moon. So there are all these
weird oppositions.
Yeah. Looking at things from a very different perspective.
And we do. However,
we fight the problems, not each other.
If you'll forgive me for the crudity, you know, he who stands with shit up to elbows is best placed to tell you how deep it is. Yeah? And that's the truth. That sometimes we make assumptions based on
our perspective.
Perceptions, yeah. How we perceive it to be from either what we've heard, what we've read, what we've gleaned, not necessarily our personal experience. So don't deride somebody else's personal experience if they can bring that to the party. And learning to make best possible use of all available resources also means listening to somebody who knows more about something than you do.
Right, because that's a valuable resource. Yeah. That's why I said we don't consider ourselves old, but we've had quite a bit of life experience.
We have, and it continues. We continue to experience, and we continue to learn. And one of the I think most important things for me to come to that realization, and I think that's where you would have hated me as a kid. I was so arrogant and so full of myself, just like most young male Leos.
How's that any different? Now.
Shut up. No, I was. But, you know, I had my faults, but being wrong couldn't be one of them. You know what I mean?
How is that any different now?
No, she derides me. No, I now realise I am probably wrong. If something's wrong, especially with code I've written, I realise I'm the one who's probably made the mistake somewhere. And when you realise that, when you realise it's down to you to solve that, to work back and to find the way forwards from there, it's very useful. You know, maybe I'm arrogant, maybe I'm full of myself, but I don't think I'm a narcissist. I really don't. No. I honestly, but I've met narcissistic individuals, and they're like, no, no. I do believe I come at most things from a place of love, and I will say, if I don't, this one here, she'll be all over me like white on rice, telling me,
calm your ass down.
Cool your jets. What the hell's wrong with you? You know, just chill out and let's work this out. And so we have this wonderful way, I think, of
balancing.
Our oppositions actually help balance the turbulence, if you will. There's that evening effect, evening, not evening.
Balancing,
but evening out the curve, you know, knocking out those extremes. We support each other when support is required. Now, that's not to say that we don't have a harsh word. That would be a complete fallacy.
I'm not saying we never argue, but it's very seldom that we're mad at each other.
No, but
we're usually passionate about a situation.
What we're talking about. And we do. We're very assertive towards each other. But I don't think any one of us plays second fiddle to the other. I think we truly are a partnership and very, very complementary in that respect. Very much. You know, and there's the NATO thing as well. And I think this is something that you have to bear in mind when somebody's very close to
NATO.
you as well.
An attack on one is an attack on all.
That is correct. So even if I feel that, you know, Lisa's wrong, I won't let somebody just, you know, trample all over and talk rubbish about it, whatever. I'm going to pull them to one side and take them through a walk through the garden.
And remind them of what their relationship to that person is, right?
Yeah.
Who are you to this person, and who is this person to you, and who, you know, why would you be?
And if this person's bothering you, talk to the person. Talking to somebody else about your perception, which is probably wrong, isn't helping. It won't fix the problem. It makes it worse. then word gets round, because it always does. Nothing exists in a vacuum.
And you play that game of telephone where he said, she said, she feels this way, she said, but you're getting what the other person said through the perspective of a third party.
Yep.
And that just winds you right up. So
none of this is conflict resolution.
Yourself.
None of it's conflict resolution. Conflict resolution is about finding where the area of conflict lies and then looking at, why do you feel that way? Why do I feel that way? What's the middle ground? Is there middle ground to be had, And
once in a while, you are going to have to just agree to disagree with someone.
Sometimes.
You won't be able to change what is your truth and how you feel, and neither will the other person. So sometimes you just have to walk away from a particular person or situation.
Especially if that's starting to become toxic. There's this adage, isn't it? You can take a person to knowledge, but you can't make them think. Just like you can take a horse to water, and you can't make it drink.
Yeah.
You can. Some people just won't consider anything. They are so entrenched in their viewpoint, which is absolutely devoid of a single shred of supporting fact. But that's their viewpoint, and you try to enlighten this person. You try to say, hey, look, maybe you've just got this wrong. But they can't be wrong. And that's one type of person I will purposefully distance myself from. Somebody, I find ignorance and arrogance are very unfortunate bedfellows. Yeah. And they will just bring you down. They're going to crush your zeitgeist. They're going to crush your, so you have to accept that person's going to be on their own. Don't lower yourself to their standards. You should not be in a relationship with somebody like that. Let them go wherever they've got to go. Yeah. That's not a mutually supportive relationship.
And the reason we're talking to you about this today is to try again to give you some food for thought and some help on how to navigate this crazy month.
It is.
Right?
It's balmy.
5 planets in retrograde. That means communication is slowed down. How you learn is slowed down. How you expand is slowed down. How you destroy and recreate is slowed down. How your creative psychic energy works is slowed down. There are 5 planets stalled.
We still have to deal.
We still have a relationship with those planets, with our own planet, and with the people around us. So recognize that these next couple of weeks may be challenging, more so than others, and that as long as you try, you won't be punished,
I just want to share what Erin said here, and I love this, and I'm going to take it further than that because I'm not familiar with what you're saying here, but she says every battle has a hill they'll die on. That's true. But, it's always easier to defend higher ground. So if you find yourself on attack, keep going for the higher ground. Go high, keep going high. And eventually the person's going to run out of steam running up the hills to try and get to you. Because, so long as you go high, just don't drop to their level. Don't. It's an amazing thing. And you know what? You feel good about that. And you don't hate the person either, because hate is dropping to their level. Yes, you can get frustrated, but you've got to realize the frustration is coming from within you, not from outside of you. It's how you're responding to the stimuli.
You can choose happiness. Vanessa says she's been married 37 years, and their trick is to keep the magic alive. They don't let anyone interfere in their marriage. They try not to sweat the small stuff, and remember that the little things you do for each other count. So do the big things. Protect your energy.
It's very true. Don't sweat the petty things, Nessa, but more importantly, don't pet the sweaty things.
But no, seriously, just do your best. And I know that these next couple of weeks might be a bit of
a challenge.
Oh, geez, what am I going to do about this? So just remember what your relationship is to that person, why you're in relationship with them, and what you think you could do better to take care and nurture the relationship.
And speaking of nurture, what a cracking card.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Isn't that? Queen of Pentacles. This is your
Earth
card.
Mother, yeah.
This is your card. Oh, gosh. Well, I'll chuck my 2 cents in first because this is all about nurture. It really is about nurture. There's so much can be brought about by nurture And there's so much can be destroyed by lack of nurture, by, so nurture. If you want something to grow, if you want something to be, align with what it is you want, nurture it, make it better. Don't sit there and scream and shout and bitch at the opposite end of the room. That's, get involved with what it is that you want to be good in your life and nurture it, make it better, feed it good stuff. Whether it's internal or external, it matters not. It's all about the need to nurture, and it's up for you.
My reading for this card for you for today follows the theme we've been having this week, which is, if you look within, you will notice you already have the answer. So whatever comes up today that might be a challenge, stop, look within, and recognize that you hold that answer right in your own lap. It's right there. You just have to recognize it. Recognize it, use the information to respond and not react. And I think you'll have a great weekend.
And I love this. This was the card that you sat for on Christopher's Day.
Yes, well. The Dawn.
The Dawn. How funny is that?
Mother,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And there's a little bunny there as well. We like bunnies.
Yeah,
we like bunnies. Bunnies are good. Rupert's
all right, folks. Oh, yeah. So, watch our box opening from yesterday. Because
Mike was being scandalous.
It was hysterical. Mike said, do you know that Rupert is having a sexual relationship in this book? We said, what?
It's a children's book, man.
He said, yeah, man. Look at this. It's the Ostara story. And he meets a very special friend.
Who coincidentally happens to be called Roxanne.
Roxanne. So he said, when Rupert met the goddess, she wasn't a special friend, but Roxanne is a very special friend. And they have them touching noses. He's like,
yeah.
Rupert's getting it on.
Yeah, they're rubbing more than noses there.
Well, so if you look at yesterday's box opening, it's pretty hysterical.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a lot of fun yesterday. We went in and just caused abject
Rogan
chaos.
Was there. Amaryllis was there. Carol was there.
Rogan needs no excuse to
be scandalous. Mike was there. It was just like all this energy, and the customers thought, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And then the boxes were hysterical because it was like a box inside a box inside a box until we could get to the item.
It's like Russian dolls. What did you want? So we got all sorts of fun stuff. So check that out. It's not on YouTube, unfortunately. We only put it on the Book of Face.
It was live on Facebook. Yeah,
Book of Face. So there you go. That's
and there will be box openings today. We've got notices of incoming. So
we got incoming.
We'll see you in a bit.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if Jen doesn't phone in a bit and say, "I'm not coming in." I'm going to hide.
No, I already texted her today because yesterday she said, I'm going to be off today and Monday because the rest of the stuff's coming Monday. So. And we do have a wonderful circle planned for you this evening. We're going to do a teaching circle for the Pisces full moon and try to kind of explain why we do what we do.
If only we knew.
Had a clue. All right. Peace be with you. Lift up your hearts and all that
much
good
for watching.
We'll be back to Elevensies on Monday.
Back on Monday, but probably box openings today.
Oh,
so
definitely.
do please like, comment, subscribe, share this video all over the place. Hit the notification button. Tell your friends. Bring a couple of people along on Monday. The more the merrier. It's all good fun. We're trying to be less of a well-kept secret, and you can help.
Celtica.org.
Yes, Celtica.org. So please do be complete, what's the word? Scandalous individuals, shameless and pluggers everywhere.
Yes.
Shameless plugs, do that. Tell your friends.
Share Celtica.org.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.